What's going on, people? It's your boy Lante here, and this is another episode of Hoop Love. Today, I'm still bouncing back from my tough Eagles loss to the Cowboys. Give them much props. They did what they had to do despite injury. Yada, yada, yada. That's over. We're on to week 3. We have a very interesting matchup because it's kind of David and Goliath. Since my Eagles can't pass the ball for anything to save anyone's life, and the Jets seem to be the best passing defense in the league, arguably the best defense in the league. And with a game manager in Kilpatrick, they can obviously win games if that defense could get one TD. And then you have a game manager playing behind that, a guy who doesn't turn the ball over, but there's nothing special about him. That's what game managers need. Every quarterback wants anyways to play behind a great defense. You could look back to A.J. McCarron at Alabama, Joe Flacco when they won that Super Bowl. But anyway, we have my Eagles at the Jets. And actually, I think the Jets may be in our house. But whichever way, it's going to be a game. It probably won't be on in Ohio, so I'll be stuck watching the bum-ass Bengals. But let's get on to my love. The reason why I hope you guys are here, the reason why I'm here is our love for basketball. As of today, it is 34 days and 5 hours until opening tip-off. So whatever that 7:30 game is on October 30th or 31st. Next order of business, let's get into these preseason NBA power rankings. I've seen and read a couple different articles from a couple internet sources, NBA.com, ESPN.com, just to name a few, that have had their own NBA power rankings preseason, obviously. I'm just going to start with the top. And they have the number one team as the reigning NBA champions, Golden State Warriors. And I 100% agree. I don't care what any other team has done in the offseason, any trades, any free agent acquisitions, anything. I don't care if, you taught DeAndre Jordan how to hit free throws. I don't care. The Golden State Warriors are the team to beat. They are the class of the NBA. This is why they're still the best team in the league. The 3 years that Mark Jackson had, every year they progressed in the NBA playoffs. They got better. They got experience. They did exactly what OKC was trying to do. So Sam Presti, he failed. The Golden State Warriors GM, he did exactly what OKC was trying to do. These guys are still young, but when they had a younger Westbrook, they had a younger KD, they had James Harden, they had a young Ibaka. They had to keep those guys, and they couldn't do it. But Golden State did. They kept Klay Thompson, kept Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green. They brought in Maurice Spates. They kept David Lee and Andrew Bogut. So that's why I think the Warriors are still number one in the league. And I didn't even mention Steph Curry. Now, the Spurs. The Spurs did what the Spurs do. Like the year they got Kawhi Leonard. Oh my God. They gave up Paul George. They might have traded Paul George in a draft pick for Kawhi. And the Pacers bid on that shit so hard. Imagine if the Pacers had Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. No one is scoring on that perimeter. Do you understand? No one is scoring on that perimeter. But anyway, pass is the pass. Pacers took that L. Spurs reaped the benefits. Popovich is probably the smartest coach in the game. In history, probably, So, yeah, Kawhi Leonard, they got him for the cheap. They waited patiently and got LaMarcus Aldridge, which is a great pickup, especially with Tim Duncan getting higher in his age. But here's my reason why they don't beat out the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference. The point guard play. 2 years ago, Tony Parker played out of his mind in the playoffs. When they won the championship in 2014, Tony Parker and Tim Duncan played amazing. Last year, Tim Duncan played amazing. Vintage Tim Duncan, just Oh man, he's a great player. I'm gonna save that for another video. Tony Parker, he just doesn't have that juice anymore. He doesn't have the juice anymore. But you know who got the juice? Steph Curry got the juice, man. So when it come down to that point guard matchup, and they lost Corey Joseph, who I thought was gonna replace Tony Parker at the point. Like, I felt like he had waited his time. He knew the system. Maybe he earned Popovich's trust, but maybe that wasn't the case. So that point guard play, like, Steph Curry's gonna eat. Like, all right, you're gonna put Kawhi Leonard on Steph Curry, cool. But then who's gonna guard Klay Thompson? Not Manu. He's gonna get cooked. Who's Tony Parker gonna guard when he's on the floor? When the Warriors go big, and it's Curry, Klay, Barnes, Green, and you get Spates. You know, like, that's not even a big lineup. But for the Spurs, because they don't have a huge lineup, you know, Tim Duncan 6'10", you know, Aldridge 6'10", 6'11", and Draymond is known for guarding bigger players. Draymond 6'7", you know, so he guards, you know, power forwards in this league, and sometimes he can guard some centers in this league. But that's why I don't think the Spurs are gonna take it this year. I think honestly, let me just move on. I was about to give my finals prediction, but I'm gonna just go into the third team on this list. All right, the third team on this list is the Cleveland Cavaliers, and as far as third, I'm gonna look at some teams below them. This is what pissed me off about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it's one, you'll be able to tell I'm extremely biased because I'm a LeBron fan, straight up. So I follow Cleveland basketball very closely. Here's the thing: we should have let JR walk. He was MIA in the finals, a la James Harden in 2012. He was just gone. James Harden had a great playoffs that year, but in the finals, he was gone. And so was JR. And I was the one telling everybody that JR was the perfect fit for this team because he was a veteran, he loves the big moments, and he's a big shot maker. And he proved that throughout the regular season and the early parts of the playoffs, especially in that Hawks series. I think game 2 he had 28, like something crazy like that. So I don't like bringing JR back, especially when we're losing Mike Miller, Sean Marion, you know, these veteran champions who know how to keep that composure, because that's what the Cavs didn't have last year. They didn't have that composure on the court because everyone was looking at LeBron James and saying, "Bron, we need you to do more," when my man is already averaging 45 points, 10 boards, and 10 dimes on 55% shooting from the field. Yeah, he's shooting terrible from 3, but he's shooting 55% from the field while putting up 30 shots a game or better. Like, he was balling, and they was looking at him say, "Bron, we need you to do more." Like, that's the crazy thing that blows my mind. Then people say, "Oh, LeBron, he's terrible." Like, so what? He lost in the finals. Like, so what? Like, so what? He lost in the finals. What? He's lost 4 times now. 07, 2011, 14, 15. Yeah, he lost 4 times in the finals. So what? Like, it ain't about your losses in the finals. It's the fact that you had a chance to win it. So you was there while everybody else wasn't there. All right, you had the best chance besides the team that won. All right, 5 years in a row, 5 years straight you've been in the finals, and it's probably going to be a 6th year. Hopefully he wins it. I don't know. The West looked tough though. All right, for the 4th team, we got the Houston Rockets. And this team is insanely interesting. It's like an enigma, you know, like, because you look at the roster on paper, and I know they just picked up Ty Lawson, and everybody's saying he's going to start. And he might start, but I love Patrick Beverley. Like, if my point guard isn't, you know, the highest IQ, then I want him to be a dog. Like Gary Payton, Steve Francis, Patrick Beverley. like a dog. So if I can't have that Magic Johnson, Steve Nash, Steph Curry, Chris Paul point guard, then I want that Gary Payton point guard. It's gonna lock you up 94 feet. You trying to call a timeout, he trying to steal the ball simultaneously. That's what type of point guard I want on my team. That's the type of point guard I try to be too. But anyway, you got talent there, and you even got workhorses there. You know, people gonna say James Harden don't play defense, you know, but he's a workhorse because my man gets buckets. Like, he gets buckets for real. So you gotta respect that. You know, Dwight Howard, personally, he's a bum. You're not even top 3 on your position. Like, I can name easily off the top of my head. I'm gonna take Marc Gasol, DeMarcus Cousins, and Anthony Davis over Dwight Howard. Listen, all the Rockets need you to do, Dwight, is play defense. Look what DeAndre Jordan doing. That's all they need you to do. And James Harden will put up the buckets. Hopefully the Rockets do well. They had their playoffs last year was, I mean, they met up against the Warriors, of course. They met up against the champions. They probably shouldn't have made it out of that other round against the Clippers, but hey, what can you do? And that is a perfect segue into the number 5 team on this list of NBA Power Rankings, which is the LA Clippers. And I really don't have much to say about this team because, to me, they didn't do anything in the offseason besides bring in Paul Pierce. You know, they brought in Lance Stevenson and Josh Smith. But here's my thing about bringing in Lance Stevenson, all right? Got a 6'5" guard who really should be playing a point guard in this league. Brought in Paul Pierce, you lose Matt Barnes. Look at your guard rotation. You got Chris Paul, you got JJ Redick, you got Austin Rivers, you got Lance Stevenson, you got, I think you got Prigioni on that team? Like, what are you doing, Doc Rivers? Like, they've been a deep team for years, but they've never really put it together. And after that horrendous loss in the West semis last year against the Rockets, like, that was terrible. You know, that was pathetic. And then you had that circus shit with DeAndre Jordan. But I'm going to wrap this up here because this videos end up being a lot longer than I expected. So that was the top 5 teams, and just to give you a quick rundown of that, we had the Golden State Warriors at 1, we had the Spurs at 2, Cavs at 3, Houston Rockets at 4, and the LA Clippers at 5. Alright, this is your boy Lante, aka the Lazy Genius, and this is another episode of Hoop Love. So if you do enjoy this video, you can like, comment, subscribe down below. Follow me on Twitter. Chillin' ain't easy. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and send the hate, send the love. I'll accept it all. Peace.